It is so funny. You can just get a game over if you're idling here. I think this is one instance where the lack of a pause menu is kind of silly, but even if you do get a game over, it doesn't hurt you really. But yeah, well, setting up to start recording, I lost 3 lives to those orbs. It does at least have an effect of making this place seem incredibly hostile and unwelcoming. So, a couple of notes before I begin. In the quote-unquote final battle with Crocodibly, he only refills his life bar once, right? To initiate phase 2 where the explosions are at it. I think he does that when he drops below half. So, if you start damaging him below half once he starts an attack sequence, he's not going to replace his life bar until that attack sequence is over. So you have a window to beat him within that first life bar before phase 2 can happen. Although I don't recall if the explosions start popping up while you're damaging him. So that's kind of cool, good for speedrunning. And another thing, I want to criticize myself, because I rewatched the videos again. I hadn't watched parts 1 and 2 for a while. I mentioned the Silk Song thing 3 times, and I said the exact same thing each time, which is kind of stupid. So if you noticed that and it annoyed you, just know that it annoyed me 10 times more. At least it's representative of the huge gaps in between those videos. 1, 2, and 3, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe a bit after 3 is when I said it for the 3rd time. Anyway. I guess the actual new information is that I'm still not quite finished with Silk Song in terms of achievements. I have like 3 left. And yes, 2 of them are the, I guess it's not a spoiler to say that Steel Soul is a thing. I was considering doing that. What do you think? But yeah. Although if I do record Steel Soul, I don't know, am I only going to upload it if it's successful, or am I going to upload it if it's interesting enough? And then when I'm out of things to say, I could do a successful run of Steel Soul. Anyway. Purely hypothetical. Where do I begin here? Wait, actually, I know. First order of business. Saturday. For a particular reason. Damn my throat. It's when I start talking. It's because I'm so quiet when I'm not recording. Oh, well, this is lovely. Aside from the gravestone, it feels like something you would see in the early game. Here lies schoolteacher, who died because you're bad. Rest in peace. Aw, damn it. I didn't think getting an F would amount to that. Once more, it's just, you don't know what to expect with this game, and that's part of the fun. Just getting to try another level is, exciting. Yeah. That's one hell of a contrast. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Etc. And the music combined with this is just killing me. I believe this track is called Happy Cult. Hail Satan once again. Ah, they must be Ghost fans. More of the same. Ooh, Hail Satin. Hope I'm doing it right. You love your robe, huh? That's what I'm getting from that. Obviously the implication is that he got it wrong. And here is where all the random things we got go. You may offer yourself as a sacrifice. If you'd like to, of course. I don't mean to impose. I don't exactly remember if you can do this with less than 5 items. So in other words, if you miss the... I think that's blueberry pie from the Land of the Dead, you won't be able to do this. But for some reason I remember there being like a messed up version of this ritual that doesn't work quite right, or some alternate way of doing it if you don't get the pie. For some reason I'm thinking that. I have no idea if that's right. It's been ages. I guess I should do this first, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if I complete this level, which is not much of a level, but... yeah, you have to jump into the spikes. And this happens again. Which, I never thought about this before, but maybe the reason the same animation is reused is because in both cases, you travel in time. I have none of my abilities. I'll explain the laser sight in a second. I don't have a cross. I'm holding up and down. I don't have any alternate shot types. But I do have this. I think you can only fire it for a single frame if you tap. So, let's see how this plays out, because we're back in Art Zone. Hello, welcome to the art world again. Yeah, this laser insta-kills everything. Actually, look at the paint rollers. Oh, they do stop at the... oh, maybe it's because I tapped, actually, because one proceeded beyond the border of the screen. Maybe it actually does damage every frame. That would still make it practically insta-kill. Or maybe the pencil works in a strange way, I'm not sure. Maybe the pencil turns into several different enemies that are just pencils of different lengths. That could explain it. If the laser is actually doing insta-kill damage. Yeah, these robots, doesn't matter. They even have the big explosion for more major enemies, and I think bosses explode like that. That detail is slipping my mind for some reason. Ceci n'est pas un pipe, I think. I'm still not confident about that. For the record, I studied some French in high school, and the only thing they said was good was my pronunciation. Otherwise, I was not retaining information. Apparently... oh wait. This is why I was thinking that you can kill this thing. Because now you can. I think my pronunciation in French could be decent because of, like... wait, is the laser... yeah, it goes low enough. Otherwise you'd be stuck, obviously. Ryan wouldn't do that. But my whole life, people have been commenting to the point where it made me insecure that my pronunciation of R, or I guess in Bulgarian, is too French. Yeah, like, that's just how I've always said the letter R. Like, what is the problem? I couldn't even tell the difference. But hey, apparently it's French, so it made my French pronunciation slightly better, I guess. Anyway, I digress. I am an indecipherable piece of crappy art. Okay, Crocodibly, let's see how you fare against this. Oh. That was easy. Crocodibly was defeated, and the world was saved. The end. Yep. That's why I said that the pie isn't a big deal, because if you need the pie to do that ending, the ending barely matters. The game doesn't even acknowledge that you did the ending, it's just a novelty for its own sake. I do have to run through Happy Cult again, though, but that's fine. I'll be quick. Because the level isn't clear, as you can see. There's no check mark in the hub. But although the secret ending itself doesn't count towards the completion of your save file, the Human Mibibli stages do. I'm pretty sure that I didn't have all of the blocks of completion on my save file, on Insanity Shuffle specifically, because I hadn't beaten all the Human Mibibli stages, so there's still some motivation to do them, I'm pretty sure. And I think there was another thing in the game that requires you beat all of them. I think. Although I'm not actually sure if that thing is doable on Insanity Shuffle. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Ooh. I really like this for some reason. I believe the fastest way is to use repeated void block, but yeah. That just accelerated time. 24 hours. And every single one of the levels in here will do that. Now, Saturday's clear. What to do next time? That stage is really free, but others won't be, for the most part. And I'm still... Oh, I'm doing Friday last. I'm confident about that. I think that'll be a nice end to this hub world. I love Friday. Who doesn't love Fridays? But for now... Was it Monday or Tuesday that I'm thinking of? I think it was Monday. Okay, I'll go into Monday, and if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm not, I'll do it anyway. Ugh. Here lies mini crocodiblis, all of them buried under this one tombstone. What mini crocodiblis? Oh no, now I feel really insensitive about that joke of boiling his kids. Oh god, I didn't even remember this when I said that, by the way. It was just kind of a schizo moment, I guess. So, gotta walk through here. For some reason the music really fits this, and I can't explain why. So you see that hat on top of this thing? I'm glad I watched some videos, because I wouldn't have remembered. I was thinking there was like a secret passage through the body to get on top of the head, but actually... you shoot it with mine missiles, for some reason. And that's the second hat. Because there was also one in City, if you remember. But, yeah, that's Monday. I believe the music there is called Weird. And yeah, it sure is. This is one of those things where it might feel like I'm making really rapid progress, but in the grand scheme of things I've barely done anything, because the remaining levels are going to be way, way harder than that. Mostly. Wednesday. Oh, right. Okay, now I pretty much remember all the levels. And I think next I'm going to do Thursday. Because, Well, what am I stalling for? Just go. It's a shmup. Points a billion and 3 shipiblis. I think that's just like the live system, except you die in 1 hit here. So I love this. I'm immediately reminded of some of Hideki Kamiya's games, because he loves having one-off gameplay sections like this. Yeah, this is pretty fun. And much like those shmup sections, it's clever to reuse existing enemies from the core gameplay for that. Oh look, a power-up. And now the main shot's stronger. It's pretty simple. Maybe it goes on for really long, but it's very fun. I quite like this stage. It's a nice little breather. But it's not a complete joke like Saturday, was it? Why am I already forgetting? Oh yeah, these eyes have more life. Whoops. If you die, you lose all your power-ups, so that's not good. I don't have to kill everything, but I feel compelled to. There's no score or anything, so not much of a point. Oh yeah, you can only move halfway across the screen for some reason. Kind of a strange choice. I think I might know why Ryan did that, but I was expecting to be able to move forward a bit more. And I'd say in a lot of shmups you really shouldn't hang back the whole time. It's not really doing you favors in a lot of situations. Ah. Now I'm at max power. Again. Oh, the boss already? Okay. Notice the points change to a Mibillion. Because I'm me, I feel like saying, if Ryan happens to watch this, please experiment more with bullet hell. It's really fun and cool. I love it. I have seen some examples in that one other game I played. And probably some of my favorite fights involved some fairly well executed bullet hell patterns. Okay, I think that's pretty much all. If you survive, you do get more power-ups. So if you've died, you can recover a little bit. Oh, and I think you have to shoot the red spot on the ship. I'm pretty sure it doesn't take damage anywhere else. Or at least it takes less damage. Which I like. Minor as it is, having to aim is nice. Oh, I still have my hat. I guess the ship is completely separate from regular gameplay. To such an extent that dying doesn't make you lose the hat. Three days down. And now it's actually just, well, okay, I guess this is the part where I just get rid of all the easy stages. Or levels. I sort of go back and forth on which word I use. Because Sunday is also short. Although it's different from Monday and Saturday. Look at this. This is reminding me of something very spoilery that I'm not going to reference. I don't even know. No one can guess what I'm thinking of right now. Here lies Dampy the poorly drawn dancing mouse. Wait, Dampy the mouse. Poorly drawn dancing mouse. Excuse me, I don't know why my brain skipped over a word. Rest in peace. No, Dampy. I liked you. I wonder how many years into the future we went. Maybe you could figure that out from the death of Dampy and the teacher and whatnot. So, this level's just a boss fight for some reason. And it's a very abstract boss. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. I think mine missiles are really good here. Oh, no. So I'm gonna use them. I haven't used them yet. So, with such a mobile target, that seems fine. This is more of an endurance battle than anything. Because this thing can go to many different positions and it's hard to hit. Oh no. I think one weakness of mine missiles is because of the shot limit, if the enemy is fast, you'll be in a situation where... Oh no. I think I'm underestimating this boss. You can be in a situation where you can't fire shots or deal any damage because the missiles are failing to hit something. Oh god, those are fairly fast. Damn it. I could have explode dashed through that. It's not a pushover, that's for sure. There were too many projectiles, otherwise that would have worked. I didn't feel I could jump onto the platform in time. Yeah, follow-up attacks like that are fairly tricky. Damn it. Perhaps some void block wouldn't hurt. Although, yeah, it is hard to land. I should also remember the double jump. Yeah. I could have double jumped over the projectiles a couple of times. Would have been a good idea. It is quite unique that you can't shoot through enemy projectiles. I can't think of any game that does that. Maybe if the projectiles are destructible, but that's still not quite the same thing. Ah! I forgot about that, where it can just turn around suddenly. That's surprisingly dangerous. Turn around and accelerate towards you. Okay. Okay. So far, I'm not sure if the shuriken are doing anything. Maybe my first thought was right, and mine missiles are the way to go. In theory, hitting it with the void block is faster, but in practice, maybe not. Slow and steady wins the race, I suppose. I'm trying to stagger out the projectiles and fire them in different directions so that one of them is more likely to hit. Another thing I never noticed before, although it's kind of obvious, the icon for this weapon is the lock-on indicator that appears over the enemy when you fire. Because I remember wondering what the icon is supposed to be, because it didn't make as much sense to me compared to the other weapons. Okay, I got used to all the possibilities here. Again, how nice to stop you from dying from those spikes. I think on lower difficulties there's a block here. I seem to remember that being a thing. Oh, I completely forgot about this. Here lies a gravestone. NPC, rest in peace. Oh my god. There's a path through here. Tip: if you know what's good for you, do not use slugs. That's, I think, purposefully misleading, because you are supposed to use slugs here. They will outline the level design. And there are spikes, so yeah, that would be a disaster if you were doing this completely blind. I find it funny, it's almost hostile to say the opposite of what you're supposed to do, but it still gives you a hint on the correct thing, so... I like these things at the top. They sort of look like the dusk or dawn of the city level, but there's several of them, so they're like eyes or black holes or something. Just another thing to add to the weird atmosphere of that level. And yeah, it just sort of ends. For a moment it might seem like a reverse level where you fight the boss first, but no. That's it. And I guess that's as good a place as any to place the slug thing. It's a neat use of the slug weapon. And that's something I have to say, moving forward, the rest of the levels here will expect you to use power-ups from the second hub world, because it's impossible to get this far without having them. That's why levels are designed around the double jump, and that's part of the reason I don't mind the double jump. It, on its own, it's uninteresting, but it's one thing for a game to withhold a double jump from you and leave a bunch of areas that are just barely too high up to reach. It's another thing to have a clear cutoff point where the level design switches to accommodate for the double jump and everything else, and there's no backtracking. Not that I dislike games in the vein of Metroid or anything, but maybe sometimes the backtracking doesn't really add to the experience. Maybe it even takes away. If it's on par with, like, Spyro 2 and 3, where you have to return to previous hub worlds. I guess that's a good comparison, actually, because this game is similarly broken up into hub worlds. If you had to do that, or else you can't complete the game, so mandatory backtracking. If a Metroid-type game was like that, I would not care for the traversal upgrade progression idea quite so much. So, which of these? I'm feeling a bit sniffly, so I guess I'll stop for a minute and think, enjoy the ambience. Right. But now I'm paranoid. Okay. You can hear me. It's all good. I think maybe I just do them in weekday order. Yeah, that'll work out well. I'm fairly certain that any of these levels will take me a while, so that might be the last thing in this video. So, Tuesday. Ah, yes. This track is really catchy. I love it. Here lies Carrot Garden Man, father to countless carrots. Rest in peace. Damn. Again, I'm thinking about this way too hard. To a great extent, this game is just nonsense, but I can understand a mouse not living that long, or an old teacher, you know, maybe she doesn't have many years left anyway, if we travel forward in time. But that guy seemed like, you know... I mean, he's a farmer, maybe we can imagine that he's old, but he seemed younger to me, so we really went far ahead in time. Warning, death ahead. Reducer orbs are invulnerable to homing missiles. What's a reducer orb? That's a reducer orb. It drains your life. That's a really dastardly gimmick. Surprise screen wrapping. And these flowers have explosive petals that hit really hard. And have an AoE, of course. And I'm pretty sure you need explode dash there, or maybe the double jump can clear that as well. Oh, but right here, you definitely need explode dash. Gigantic, evil-looking thwomps with spikes. Yes, they are instant death. Damn. That is a strat I've used before. That's one of the use cases for Crystal Zone. Which, if I prepare it on the previous screen, that can absolutely work. This level is no joke. This is serious endgame stuff. So now it's the flowers. The upside is those explosions can hurt even the flowers themselves, as well as other enemies. Yeah, I didn't hold the jump button for long enough. Damn it. Touching the reducer orb will hurt you, by the way, so careful. That can finish you off if you're overzealous. There, was that so hard? Now let me try this. Yeah, exactly enough to kill that. Otherwise, I guess you could try to... I don't know. There are spikes that you could use across to get through. The fact that you don't get any healing in between these reducer orbs is rather mean. I think I'll stick to the shuriken for now. Oh no. I completely forgot how to do that. Wait, full life? Is that the idea? Oh, but... Damn. I don't know if full life would even work, because you would quickly get drained anyway. Because, you know, the AoE from the shuriken upgrade could break those blocks real fast. How did I do that before? Maybe this is the level that requires all the weapons now that I think about it. Maybe the charge weapon. Yep, that's obvious. Again, mandatory double jump, as I said. Oh no. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna... Oh, I guess that's the more dangerous way of doing it. It's still possible, but it's really close. It's really tight. Now I need to be fast to grab the life, which I think should be fine. So close. I think that could work if you're a little faster, but that's definitely not ideal. There's an equivalent of using Crystal Zone there. And I'll try it this time. I think maybe I just panicked there. I would say this is where the game is particularly evil. I love it though. I'm pretty sure on my first playthrough I felt an immense sense of satisfaction when I beat these levels. Uh-oh. No, wait, that's fine. Oh, yeah, but I do have to screen wrap, and you need to jump or else you'll die to those spikes. I think this is the way to go. Maybe the slugs can work, but the problem is individual slugs contribute to your shot limit, so if they're going off in a direction where they can't hit anything, you just can't shoot anymore. So, okay, here goes. Alright, they're immune to... Damn it. Huh. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm forgetting something about that, because I definitely had a fairly easy method of getting through there. You're likely to die here the first time, because this is where you get taught about screen wrapping, because you can get this far without realizing it, and then, yeah. But on subsequent attempts, you might realize how to avoid those flowers, which is good level design. Like, really good. I think I just used the shuriken upgrades, now that I think about it. For the screen after this one. Yeah, that's what it was. Oh no. Oh, that was way too close. Technically I could use a cross to grab those, but I don't remember what's next, so maybe it's not worth it. There is a lot of instant death, I remember that, so yeah, I'll save the cross. Oh, fair enough. Here lies NPC number 14, rest in peace. And more mandatory double jump stuff. Wait, who the hell is NPC number 14? I didn't think about that for a second. I guess that's the joke. Who even is that? Oh no. That was atrocious. It's a bit tighter of a jump than I remember. Oh, explode dash, you fool. Of course. Not like that. Well, that's a great start. That's not even the hard part. More screen wrapping. Threading the needle with spikes. Oh, well. Well, that was just incredibly stupid. Flowers. Maybe part of the reason the track got stuck in my head is because I died a lot the first time as well. That's almost certainly a factor. I believe on Insanity Shuffle I had to do this screen with Crystal Zone like that because, well, there's more stuff here, and just barely reaching the reducer orb in time like this, I don't think it's possible. If it is, it's inconsistent. So, next is right, yeah. I need to force myself to pay attention like that. I messed up my movement there. There's a really tight balance on these things. I guess double easy would be quite merciful. It says on easy that you get more HP drops. They're actually random drops, probably inspired by NES Mega Man. Which is a nice way of doing it, I suppose. Mind you, I know this because I've watched other people play, not because I've played easy or double easy. To some extent, I think giving the player that much leeway doesn't really allow him to learn how to do things properly. Right. Don't mess it up this time. Damn it. It's very easy to fumble that. I wonder if Explode Dash could be useful. No, probably not. Like, maybe it can kill the Reducer Orb, but I don't know if that would be any better than the Void Block. Almost certainly not, actually. An accidental Explode Dash twice. Okay, maybe I'm changing my mind about the control scheme. It's definitely better than double tapping a direction, but I think that's the most I could say. Maybe I was fond of it because it slightly reminded me of motion inputs for a bit. And I do like motion inputs a lot, but motion inputs are not so easy to do by accident, I think, when they're done well. So, here goes nothing. I'll still save the cross, but this time I won't die so quickly and easily. Hopefully. I mean, it's a low bar. I already made it. Okay, this part. I'm reminded of the Gravitron by this, and it's not very nice. It's horrifying, actually. More mandatory Explode Dashes. Oh, wow, those hit hard. Or wait, I was low on life. Yeah, maybe they hit hard. I think it's the same thing as the red soldiers and eggs. the explosions. Come to think of it, I wonder if this level is inspired by VVV. It could be. I remember using a cross here on Insanity Shuffle because I just couldn't figure this screen out. You'll see why. I'm alluding to it a lot, but all the memories are just flooding back. I spent most of my playtime on Insanity Shuffle. Okay. Huh. Speaking of eggs, oh, right. Yeah, those spikes indicate auto-scrolling, so... God. I was falling behind there. Oh, yeah. Huh. I guess I am a little bit better. Because I was dying a lot more to those screens the first time, I'm pretty sure. Bathrooms? No music? Here lies artist. Rest in peace. I have no idea what to make of this. It's not even funny, it's just... It's strangely... imposing, I don't know why. Like, I feel like there are implications to this screen. I could see that, actually, if Ryan was mostly screwing around with random humor, but then occasionally he slips up. No, he doesn't slip up. He rarely ever slips up. This game is great. That's not what I mean. And that wasn't a slip in and of itself. But maybe he slips in some deeper meaning. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I just don't know what to make of this screen. And yeah, there's nothing here. And that's the end of the level. Yeah. I think you can see now that the remaining 2 levels are gonna be serious business. If that was anything to go by. That was serious precision platforming, honestly. But I think I'm gonna call it there for now. And in fact, maybe I'll do something next time, if I can pull it off. Because there is one little loose end. Another secret, essentially. You'll see. Thank you for watching.